Today is certainly going to be one of those days that we have to watch for any fire threat because they can spread very quickly, especially in the kind of weather that we've been experiencing. But just kind of looking at the infrared map right now, we do see a couple of hot spots up there in Osage County, but looking out west, fortunately, we've got a really good handle on that fire out in Shattuck, so that hot spot is no longer there. Starting to see maybe a one or two showing up in far southern Oklahoma. We'll keep an eye on it, though, as we go throughout the day. Lots in eastern Oklahoma, but it's not going to be as big of an issue in eastern Oklahoma. In fact, some of those could even be control burns. So the fire threat very low out east, but we're talking to the high and even extreme category across central and western Oklahoma, where it's been so dry. This is the latest burn bans. We have added a new one even just over the last several hours. So that's been Alfalfa County. So basically along getting west of I-35, that is where that fire threat will be highest, at least until we can get a really good rain in here. This is our American Fidelity camera up of our Lucky Star Sky Cam network. It is gorgeous outside, 71 degrees, south wind at 18, wind gusts right now at 25 miles an hour, but temperatures in the upper 70s and low 80s now in the northwest. The rest of us, lots of low 70s, still some upper 60s showing up in the far east with the south wind, anywhere between about 15 to as much as around 30 to at times getting pretty close to about 35 miles an hour in the northwest. It's not terribly dry out there as far as relative humidity is concerned. Lots of us in the 40s. We do have some 30s, though, showing up in the panhandle. It's extremely dry, though. Teens right now in upper single digits, but just kind of looking at the big picture, we don't necessarily have a big storm system on the way. We do have the ridge of high pressure out to the west, and we also have some storms over the Gulf of Mexico. Now, eventually, we will get a storm that's going to be moving through, but for us, the storm chances don't look all that great. And it's still going to be another couple of days before any of this moisture does move in. Now, as we get into tomorrow, we will have a slight chance of rain and storms out in the panhandle. If those storms do develop, there is a chance they could become severe. That's not a good thing, but the rain certainly would be. Now on Friday, here comes the storm. The dry line actually moves into parts of central Oklahoma. I think it's going to set up right along or just west of I-35. Cold front coming in behind it. But here's the problem. The cap is going to be in place. So we've got the warmer air aloft, and that's really going to inhibit any storm growth if we were to get anything. So we're going to watch that very closely. But for now, storm chance is low. But if they do develop, then they would have the threat of becoming severe. But today, 76 degrees in Oklahoma City, low 80s in the northwest, but about 90 degrees today, and Guyman is certainly a possibility. Overnight tonight, dropping down into the upper 40s and low 50s. Tomorrow afternoon, plenty of sunshine again, but it's going to be very windy out west. Temperatures in the low 80s, upper 70s, 78 in Oklahoma City, and also the upper 70s across eastern Oklahoma. Tomorrow afternoon and evening, keeping that chance of rain and storms in the panhandle with the low threat that they could become severe if they do develop. And then on Friday, back in the upper 70s and 80s, still a very strong south wind. So we're still going to have to watch the fire threat even on Friday, but at least the moisture should be increasing a little bit, but just a slight chance that we actually do get some storms that can break the cap in central and eastern Oklahoma. The higher chance for storms will be along the Kansas and Oklahoma border, but keeping in mind any storm that is able to develop has the threat of becoming severe. And again, that fire threat will still be there, especially behind that dry line. As we get into the weekend, it's looking pretty nice. Temperatures in the low 70s, lots of sun. We could certainly use the rain. As we get into next week, though, the chances, they're definitely there, but right now the chances overall kind of look low.